Shiva Shakti Daraswadamna Anyamscha Hasta Charana Shravana Tvagalim Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very much happy to be with all of you this morning, and very much honored to speak in this historical place of Prabhupada's glorious pastimes. And I will speak a few minutes about this very important topic, which is described in all details in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. First I will give some little introduction to understand the circumstances under which these verses were spoken. After the Great War, Maharaja Yudhishthira was despondent. He felt terrible pain because wherever he would go, he would feel the smell of burning bodies. From everywhere he would hear the cries of widows. It was a terrible thing, and he was a soft-hearted person. He was a devotee. And devotees are generally soft-hearted, and Yudhishthira was particularly soft-hearted. And even though he was, different people were trying to pacify him, he didn't want to be pacified. He was blaming himself that he is the cause of all this massacre. And that's the nature of the devotee. The devotee doesn't want to blame others. And the devotee, he takes responsibility upon his shoulders. Other people, they very easily give the responsibility to others. They say, he is guilty and she is guilty, and so many others are guilty. I'm right, everyone else is wrong. But Yudhishthira, as a true devotee, he was saying, I'm wrong, everyone else is right. And actually Krishna, who was arranging this Leela, or Yoga Maya for Krishna, who was arranging this Leela, added to his sufferings. In Mahabharata it is described that when Yudhishthira was about to be coronated, there was a grand ceremony arranged, and the Brahmanas were chanting mantras, and he was supposed to enter the city. And it was a very, very glorious event. Pandavas were going behind him, and somebody, Bhima, was holding the white umbrella as a sign of his royal position. And Arjuna was there, and Arjuna was taking the reins of his chariot. Nakula and Sahadeva were behind him, and they were waving chamaras. So it was a glorious event, and he was about to enter Hastinapur, and Brahmanas were chanting all these mantras. It was the whole vibrant atmosphere. And then all of a sudden, a demon, disguised as a Brahman, by the name Charvaka, who was a good friend of Yudhishthira, of Duryodhana, stepped out of the crowd. And he said, addressing Maharaja Yudhishthira, that I was appointed by all these Brahmanas to speak to you the truth. You think you did a great deal, you won the war. I will tell you the truth. You are a murderer. You killed all these people without any reason. And he started saying this, as Brahmanas would say. And, everyone was amazed. And Yudhishthira said, you're right. You are actually right. I'm wrong. And he started crying right there during this auspicious ceremony, the Brahmanas, they became very indignant, and they started cursing this Charvaka, and Charvaka, fell dead because of the curses of Brahmanas. But it didn't help Yudhishthira, because Yudhishthira, he took it seriously. He didn't deny it, he didn't say yes. He was not defensive at all. And that's also one of the reasons, one of the characteristics of a devotee. Devotee, he takes the blames of others very seriously. It's one of the rules of the etiquette of a devotee. If somebody blames you, you should never defend yourself. You should never defend yourself. You should never become defensive. And Maharaj Yudhishthira was like this, and he said, yes, you're right. So the whole ceremony was spoiled. This whole grand ceremony was totally, completely spoiled. And Maharaj Yudhishthira went to his room and he started crying. And then one after another, first Arjuna came, and Arjuna started saying, you remember all these injustices which were done to us, this and that. And Maharaj Yudhishthira said, no. I'm not going to be consoled so easily. And Bhima came, and Bhima was, he said, this is useless. Always this getting into this emotional outfits which are fits which are really not proper. Bhima was trying to push him into work. Nakula Sahadeva came, Vyasadeva came. Vyasadeva started speaking from the Shastra, and he was trying to give him Shastric outlook of what happened. Yudhishthira could not be consoled. And then Krishna himself came. Krishna was trying to give him some advice. Yudhishthira couldn't hear him. And of course, that was arrangement of Lord Krishna himself. He, from within the heart of Maharaj Yudhishthira, didn't allow him to listen to his advice, because he wanted to glorify Vishnu. He wanted to bring Yudhishthira to Vishmadev and make Yudhishthira hear what Vishmadev has to say. So when they came, actually this conversation between Vishmadev and Maharaj Yudhishthira is the biggest part of Mahabharata. Many people think that Mahabharata is about war, but the biggest part of Mahabharata is called Shanti Parva, so it's about peace. And Bhishmadev very elaborately, for 2 months, every day he was giving lectures to Maharaj Yudhishthira, trying to console him and to explain to him what is the duty of the king and what is the reason of all this. And basically in Mahabharata, Bhishmadev gives 4 reasons. I will tell you this a little later. So when they came, all the sages assembled to be witness or to listen to this conversation between Maharaj Yudhishthira and Bhishmadev. And Bhishmadev, when he saw Yudhishthira, and he saw Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, and Krishna, he became very emotional. He started crying. And he was trying to pay his obeisances to Krishna, who was behind everyone who was smiling. Because Krishna knew that now he will say something which will pacify the broken heart of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Anyways, so what happened? He starts speaking now. And he first says, Aho Kashtam, Aho Nyayam. What a terrible thing happened. What injustices you have undergone. And he's wondering himself, Vipra Dharma Achyuta Ashraya. You said, you are Dharmanandana, you are the sons of religion personified, and moreover, you are protected by the Brahmanas, by Dharma, and by Achyuta.